Hello, my name is Jim Penn. I'm the manager of retirement services here at VectorVest. Thank you for taking the time. Every now and then I like to share an article that I read about retirement investing, whether it's about dividends or other aspects of retirement investing. I like to share these articles and then take the information and let you take a look at how VectorVest can help you apply some of these investment strategies, some of these ideas, or to just double check them, make sure if they're talking about individual stocks that the VectorVest program can come in and confirm whether it is good information or maybe not. So let's go ahead and take a moment. And I'm going to start with this Forbes article. It caught my eye. It's titled Four Low PE Stocks Below Book Value Paying Dividends. And so it caught my eye naturally for the income investor, for the more value-minded investor. And the article starts off, cheap stocks are available for those investors willing to accept the risks, of which there are many, perhaps even more than usual. He goes on to talk about the different things that are affecting the market. I'll go ahead and come down to the stocks that they list. The first one is Avnet, AVT. They give some basic information here, and what the idea here is they're looking at stocks trading at a very low PE, undervalued companies is the idea here. Tells you a little bit about the company and then gives you a graph of the company. And these dividends look enticing, 2.78% dividend yield. If I continue to scroll down, Manulife is the next one. It'll show you the chart for that as well. Radion Group, again, it will give you the basic information in a quick chart. SIMO, Silicon Motion Technology, is another one. So you can read through that. Again, I'm not going to read the article word for word here, but what I do want to do is take the stocks that they're talking about, right? Again, another dividend yield above 3%. Looking for quality companies. What I want to do is take us into the VectorVest program, and I'm going to go into the watch list viewer where I've entered in these four stocks so that I can come into the VectorVest program and verify, okay, are these stocks worth it? Is a good resource, Forbes, but I want to get the VectorVest approach on this. So I put these four companies into a watch list, and let's take a look at them. It starts with Silicon Motion at the top. These are sorted by the VectorVest indicator value, safety, timing, but there are other important indicators to look at when we're looking at dividend paying stocks. So relative value, right out of the gate, we'll start with relative value. That's the 1 to 3 year price appreciation potential. These are three of the four have a very good, on a 0 to 2 scale, a very good relative value number here. Relative safety on dividend paying stocks. Listen, it's important. It's always important, relative safety, but a little different on companies that use their free cash flow to pay a dividend. So relative safety, while important, not as important as in say a growth portfolio. Relative timing is the current trend of the underlying stock. So this obviously changes given the market conditions. And comfort index. This is the look at the graph, and we'll take a quick look at these the same way that program offered you the graphs there. If I slide over a little bit, here's, I think, where the real important information comes into play, right? When we talk about earnings in VectorVest, one of the important things we look at is earnings growth rate. And as it applies to dividends, we want to make sure earnings are growing because we want to make sure what DG stands for dividend growth. If earnings are growing, and dividend growth is growing, it gives us a better indication that the underlying company continue to pay and raise those dividends. So we see three of the four here have an earnings growth rate that it's at least positive. We like to see double digit there. The earnings per share versus the dividend is another important factor. We look to make sure that the company's making enough to pay the dividends that they're paying out. And all four of these companies are doing that. The actual dividend, this is the annual dividend paid, and then finally the dividend yield. All of these, again, pretty good here, AVT being the only one under 3%. And as the article talked about, these low PE stocks, these what you might look at as undervalued stocks, but when I come back to the VectorVest comparison of price to value, we see that we would consider MFC and RDN to be fairly valued and AVT and SIMO to be undervalued. So again, those are good signs as well. So that's the quick analysis of these 4 stocks. We'll take a quick look at the graphs and get a sense of how these stocks have performed. Go ahead and put these graphs up. We'll break this down. We'll just take a quick 1-year look at price movement is all I'm going to do. So obviously the last year has been a tough year for most stocks. The great thing about these stocks is that you are able to continue to collect a dividend as you scroll through here. I have support and resistance lines on here as well. And you can see, these stocks not performing all that great, but a fairly tight framework here looking at, right? It's trading at almost $18 right now. The high at 22, low down at 15. We can handle that on our dividend paying stocks, so not too bad. What I want to show you next here, now these are just 4 examples from Forbes, again, a decent resource, and these companies don't look terrible, but one of the things I like to look at, if I go into our Unisearch tool, which I can do right here, and what I have here now is a spot in the VectorVest program where you can come in and you can look up, this is just one search. We have many aspects of where you can go in and find good quality dividend paying stocks. Blue chip dividend payers is one of our favorite searches here for the retirement minded income investor. And you'll see the top stocks here, all very well recognized names here. Again, the basic information, relative value, very strong. RS, again, not as important, but strong numbers here. If I scroll over, we'll take a look at the same dividend information. And again, the parameters just to make this list, that there has to be at least a 3% yield on the underlying stock. And so we can see the dividend yields here are very strong. Dividend growth is, as I said, an important factor. And so double-digit dividend growth. In the VectorVest program, we have a proprietary indicator called dividend safety. It allows you to judge the safety. Again, that takes into account, this indicator is on a 0 to 99 scale and takes into account the ability for the company to continue to grow and pay their dividends. So anything above 50, we say is favorable. That's why we put that parameter here. We're looking for well-known, mature companies with strong free cash flow, and we use earnings growth rate times the dividend growth to bring those best performers to the top. So if you're looking for good quality value stocks that pay a dividend, a good history of paying dividends, the Blue Chip Dividend Payer Search is a great place to start within the VectorVest program. So again, thank you for taking the time. Just another way to use the VectorVest program, in this case for a good quality, steady income using blue chip dividend paying stocks. So thanks again for taking the time, and we'll see you next time.
Hey VV Nation, Glenn Tompkins here from VectorVest. And guess what? We're going to Tampa. That's right, January 6th through the 7th of 2023. Absolutely, we're going to be there live, and we want you there too. So what's going to happen? You're going to get an opportunity to meet and interact with VectorVest instructors. You're going to receive a physical copy of the course workbook right then and there. You're going to enjoy a continental breakfast each and every day and have a served lunch as well. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to have a cocktail party reception on Friday. You're going to receive access to the full recording of the event. Folks, you need to go to www.vectorvest.com/Tampa to go there live. And then if you want the live stream, which is free, you go to www.vectorvest.com/stream. Folks, we want to see you there, and it's going to be a great time, but we get to meet in person. So you don't want to miss out, because the price is going to go up quick. So you want to take advantage of it as soon as you can. See you there.